Hello Sagittarius, Sagittarius Rising, and Sagittarius Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for October 2017. And a quick reminder for all of you out there, let's just not forget that these are supposed to be big, long-term aspects I talk about. Or at least longer than a day, that's for sure. I never put anything in these monthly horoscopes that's only there for one day. A lot of these, even the ones this month, are at least, at the very, very minimum, 2 weeks long, if not longer. It's important to pay attention to that. However, if you are looking for smaller aspects or short-term flavor of the week kind of things, then you want to check out the weekly horoscopes that I put out. The first half of them is exclusively astrology, so there's something for everybody. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on this week, this month, I almost said week anyway, this month when it comes to astrology, Sagittarius? Well, we've got some leftover energies from September still really working in your favor. We've got Mercury for the first 2.5 weeks of the month in Libra in your 11th house of friendships and social networking, where he's basically working on your, I guess you could say, your ability to reach out, to accrue more. We've got, we're opening up new channels for you in your social life. We're connecting you with new groups. We're expanding your social group. We are actually, getting in touch with people who may not necessarily be, in compatible proximity to you. They may be farther away, or they may be long distance. We're closing the distance between ourselves and a lot of friends as well that we haven't spoken to in a long time. Mercury is all about, again, opening channels of communication and keeping them there. Mercury can also speed along the development of some kind of big bucket list ideal that we want to, accomplish, or at least give a try. If you've got one of your bucket list items that you want to get taken care of, doesn't matter how big or small, get it started in the first 2.5 weeks of this month, and you will start to see faster results, or at least the snowball effect picking up a little bit more quickly for you. We've also got Mars and Venus in Virgo. Collectively, for the first half of the month, Mars is going to be in Virgo for the first 3 weeks, and then Venus is going to be there for the first 2 weeks. Both in Virgo, your 10th house of career and upward mobility. And these two together are a powerhouse when it comes to upward mobility, because they talk about the opportunity to basically, again, promote yourself. Whether this is actually, a way to lobby for or push for a formal promotion at the office, which does turn out to actually be quite successful if you continue to push for it. Mars is giving you a very competitive edge against anyone who may be gunning for the job, the position, or the work you're looking for. And Venus is drawing in favor. With Venus, we always win the popularity contest of whatever house it's in. In your case, it's career, it's your work. We also see, again, that very, very true energy of Mars in any financial sector, 10, 2, or 6 of your chart. We've got overtime and overtime opportunities this month. If we're trying to drum up a lot of cash, we're still carrying that energy over from September. So we're making a lot of easy money with Venus there as well. So again, we still continue to push through with a lot of financial gain opportunities, the same that we had last month. So it's not just like a streak that went away after September 30th. We get to hold onto that for a few more weeks. On the 5th, we do have a full moon in Aries, in your 5th house of love and romance and your relationships with your kids. And a full moon in the 5th does mark a punctuation. It marks a culmination. However, sometimes these culminations can be a little bit hard for certain people to handle, because they do raise the energy and the emotions in a very big way. Now, this can be a good thing, especially when it comes to maybe cementing a plan or a bond with somebody that you have been dating. Some of you may actually walk away from somebody you've been dating for something better. But there can also be some conflict, because again, like I said, some people don't handle raised energy well. Like if it gets above a 3, it might as well be a 10 for them. So you may notice that, people are a bit touchier around the 5th, especially between the 5th and the 19th. And there may be a tendency to, for, you know, maybe a partner or a lover or even one of our children to be more argumentative and perhaps just be a bit more hypersensitive than normal. However, this can go in our favor because this does indicate an opportunity to again have, you know, have a stronger bond, work things out, you know, and just kind of give the relationship a bit of a tune-up. But it's important that all members are willing and able to, you know, be there for that. But this culmination does mark a milestone. On the 10th of the month, we've got Jupiter, planet of luck, expansion, wealth, good fortune, moving into your 12th house, Scorpio, where he will be up until the end of October of 2018, so a year and some change. And Jupiter is a very interesting, you know, planet when it's in the 12th house, because it does, you know, kind of pull us away from a lot of what might be considered the more extroverted, out there, more circulating kind of energy. You know, you're going to be noticing you're pulling your energies back. You're more interested in, you know, in quieter energies, in quieter times, quieter activities. Some of you who may have very prominent very prominent faces in your local communities, or maybe you're even a celebrity in your own right, may notice that while all of that is still going very well, you are truly going to be spending more time this year kind of getting back in touch with your roots. Remember, the 12th house is about your past. And as you cloister in, you're going to be actually getting things back that were meant to always be yours. And that's like a big theme. Jupiter in the 12th house is seen as like a guardian angel or the fairy godmother, fairy godfather. And, you know, what happens with Jupiter in the 12th house is that a lot of the times it tends to be bringing you more rewards for going back and again reinvigorating the roots, going back to places that maybe you never wanted to go back to, revisiting things. I just had Jupiter in my 12th house, to be frank, and yeah, this last year has been all about going back to my roots and finding things that I left behind. I've reunited and healed a lot of relationships with some old friends. I got to have relationships that I should have had with family members that I wasn't, that I was actually denied when I was younger just due to a lot of drama. You know how that can go in families sometimes. It's a real wonderful opportunity for healing and patching up. You're also going to be noticing that things that you put out there that are passive, like a passive income, something that's supposed to take care of itself on the side, whether it's something you do for sales, or it's a program that you run, or an investment, you're going to notice those start to mature and accrue in value as well. But pay attention, because it's all about behind the scenes and in the past for the next year and some change for you, but you may actually come out better for it. Actually, you will come out better for it. It's just not the extroverted textbook Jupiter energy. And the only reason I want to talk about it so much with you is because the 12th house Jupiter is, it's something that people don't talk about when it's fresh, and I wanted to do that because, like I said, it just left my 12th house. And a lot of copy and paste astrology can make it sound like, well, Jupiter's just asleep and useless for a year whenever it's there. Not true. On the 14th of the month, we do have Venus, planet of attraction, affection, and favor, moving into Libra, your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And what we have with Venus here is that you're actually, again, becoming more popular, just like with that Mercury energy. But Venus is attracting, I guess you could say, more love and more affection to the crowd that you're in. And usually when we have this, we have more generous people around us, we have more people, it's almost like improving the quality of life, of our social surroundings. We also tend to see with Venus in the 11th house, more people getting set up. All of you single Sagittarians out there, you may meet your next love in a crowd, or perhaps actually through a small degree of separation with the intervention of a friend or somebody who wants to hook you up with somebody. This, however, can also turn out to be a time where there could be some more going on between you and a friend, and the chemistry may build between the 14th of this month and going into November. On the 17th, we've got Mercury, planet of communications, moving into Scorpio, into your 12th house, so your past, your privacy, and your hidden zone. And, for the duration of October and even into the first week of November, you're going to be sort of receiving a lot of secret information and secret intel. People tend to confide in us more. with Mercury in the 12th house. This can be extremely useful, especially if we are trying to get, hidden information when it comes to, say, watching markets, knowing what's going on behind closed doors at work and at the office. But this can also be people confiding in you and becoming more vulnerable with you, or sharing vital secrets you need to know for any reason. The important thing, though, to pay attention to with Mercury in the 12th house is that sometimes we are tempted to blab, and that is not exactly what you're supposed to do. As soon as you get that information, you don't take it and post it all over Facebook and Twitter like a fool. But what you may want to do is understand that this information is for you and you alone. Do with what you will, but don't blab it. On the 19th, we've got a new moon in Libra in your 11th house of friendships and social networking, and this is, again, bringing you into a whole new social dynamic. Your group has changed in some fashion. There may be some familiar faces, but a lot of new faces, or perhaps some people have been promoted and demoted, and we've got a whole new social network, whole new social group around us. And I think that because this new moon is falling so close to Mars, moving into this area as well, this is going to be a tighter tribe for you. Because on the 22nd, Mars is moving into your 11th house, and when Mars is in the 11th house, people don't do walls. People, they have fewer boundaries, and we have more of, again, like a family type of relationship with our friends. It's not about having contacts and acquaintances and shallow, superficial friendships anymore. Everyone wants to be, to have that camaraderie. And Mars is all about people proving it as well. There could be some, some arguments, though, because Mars is going to sift out the fair weather friends. Mars is going to create some challenges with people that who may have become a bit fake, or just simply not people that you can trust to be at your personal round table. But who is allowed to remain? Well, that's going to be the new strong team for you. And again, these energies go well into November, so we'll talk about them again. On the 23rd, we have finally the last aspect I'm going to talk about this video, and that's the Sun moving into Scorpio, into your 12th house, so you're past your privacy and your hidden zone. And we're going back, and again, we're reviving an old pastime, or perhaps an old spiritual practice, an old creative love, an old artistic talent. We're reviving it, we're going back and we're nurturing it, and really giving it the attention and the nurturing that it really deserves. Are you a singer? Are you a writer? Are you an artist of any kind? Or maybe you're not an artist, but you have a different kind of passion. Maybe you like to, to talk to people, you like to counsel people. Maybe, again, you're very, very spiritual, or maybe you enjoy just something a bit more athletic to blow off steam. We're bringing back a tool that you're supposed to be using in your everyday, and we're going to recharge and, and reinfuse that back into our lives as we go from October 23rd well into the 3rd week of November. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it, Sagittarius. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.